There's a language we all speak, yet very few of us ever learn to understand it, the language of attraction. It's not declared in grand gestures or in bold confessions. It lives quietly, between glances, in pauses, in the rhythm of a breath that changes when you enter the room. Most men think attraction is visible, obvious, measurable. But the truth? When a woman is deeply attracted to you, she rarely says it. She shows it, often in ways that even she doesn't fully recognize. The unspoken language of desire is the most primal form of communication between two people. It is not constructed through sentences or vocabulary, but through energy, attention, and presence. When a woman is deeply attracted to someone, her words may say one thing, but her body, her tone, and her rhythm often reveal another story. Her attraction speaks through her eyes before her lips ever form a word. It's the way her pupils dilate slightly when she looks at you, how her breathing changes when you lean closer, or how her posture subtly opens, even when she's trying to appear composed. These are not deliberate choices, they are involuntary responses, ancient and instinctive, revealing what her heart and mind may still be negotiating. Desire doesn't announce itself, it emerges in layers. Sometimes it hides behind laughter, or the way she unconsciously mirrors your gestures, creating an invisible bridge of connection. You might notice how she leans in just slightly when you speak, how she tucks her hair behind her ear when she feels your gaze, or how she seems to search for small excuses to prolong a conversation. Every gesture, every micro-expression, carries meaning. It's not about seduction, it's about resonance. Her body is responding to yours in a silent dialogue, one that precedes logic and lives entirely in instinct. There's an electricity in attraction that the body cannot conceal. When she's drawn to you, her energy shifts, and you can sense it even without touch. It's in the pauses, the glances, the subtle pull that lingers in the air. She might cross her legs toward you, adjust her voice to match your tone, or unconsciously mimic your expressions. None of these signs scream for attention, they whisper it. That's what makes them powerful. They are not performances, but honest slips of emotion leaking through control. What makes this unspoken language so fascinating is that it's deeply intuitive. It cannot be rehearsed or faked for long. It lives in the subtleties that reveal authenticity, in the quiet ways we let ourselves be seen without words. When a woman is deeply attracted, she is not simply reacting to your looks or charm, she's responding to how she feels in your presence. Her body becomes fluent in a language that neither of you consciously speaks. And once you start to attune yourself to these signals, you begin to realize that desire has always been speaking, it's just that most people never learned how to listen. Emotional resonance over physical proximity is what transforms simple attraction into something deeper and more magnetic. It's not about how close two people are standing, but about what they feel when they're apart. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, she doesn't just respond to your touch or your presence, she reacts to your energy, your essence, the emotional imprint you leave behind. You linger in her mind even when you're not there. She catches herself thinking about something you said, replaying a moment, or wondering what you're doing, not because she's obsessed, but because your presence stirs something familiar, something that feels alive. That's emotional resonance, it's the invisible thread that keeps someone emotionally tuned to you, even in silence. True attraction lives in emotional rhythm, not physical nearness. It's the feeling she gets when your name appears on her phone, the warmth that spreads when you smile at her, or the quiet comfort she feels just knowing you understand her without explanation. You could be miles apart, yet she still feels connected, still senses that pull. This connection doesn't depend on physical contact, it thrives on emotional impact. It's not about chasing or convincing, it's about how your energy interacts with hers in ways that awaken her curiosity, her tenderness, and her sense of being seen. Emotional resonance creates depth because it bypasses the superficial. It's not about what you look like or how you flirt, it's about how you make her feel when she's with you. If she feels safe enough to be real, to let her guard drop even a little, that's a sign that her attraction has moved beyond interest and into something instinctive. It means you've reached the part of her that craves understanding more than attention. And that is where desire becomes rooted. When a woman feels emotionally connected, she doesn't just enjoy your company, she experiences a subtle sense of belonging. You become a presence she returns to mentally, an emotional echo that stays long after words have faded. She may not fully understand why, but something about your energy feels familiar, grounding, or exciting. That's what deep attraction does. It fuses emotion and memory into something that feels almost spiritual. The power of emotional resonance is that it's effortless. It cannot be forced, and it cannot be faked. It's born from authenticity, from being fully present, from listening not just with your ears but with your awareness. When she feels that, you stop being someone she likes, you become someone she feels. The dance between vulnerability and control is where attraction becomes most visible yet most concealed. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, she often finds herself in a quiet conflict, torn between the desire to move closer and the instinct to protect herself. This internal struggle is not about playing games, it's about emotional safety. Attraction, especially when it's profound, awakens parts of her that she doesn't always know how to manage. On one side, she feels a natural urge to open up, to let you in, to share her laughter, her thoughts, her stories. But on the other side, there's the fear of being seen too much, of losing control, of revealing emotions she's not yet ready to confront. That tension between wanting and withholding is the essence of this dance. You can often sense it in her behavior. She'll lean in and then pull away, she'll share something personal and then quickly change the subject. It's a rhythm of approach and retreat, an unspoken choreography of attraction. The more she feels drawn to you, the more she might try to compose herself, to seem unaffected. But that restraint is not indifference, it's evidence of how much she feels. The deeper the attraction, the stronger the impulse to regulate it. She doesn't want to appear vulnerable because vulnerability exposes desire, and desire reveals attachment. For many people, that exposure feels risky. In the early stages, this push and pull can be confusing. She might be warm one moment and distant the next, as though she's trying to test whether it's safe to let her guard down. But beneath that uncertainty is curiosity and hope. It's not that she's unsure about you, it's that she's unsure about how much of herself to reveal. Attraction can be overwhelming because it mirrors back parts of us we don't fully control. When she feels deeply drawn to you, she's not just responding to your presence, she's responding to how that presence makes her feel about herself. This is why the most magnetic connections are built on emotional patience. If you can hold space for both her openness and her hesitation, you allow attraction to deepen naturally. It's in those moments, when she lets her guard slip, when her laughter feels freer, when her eyes soften, that you witness the balance breaking in your favor. Vulnerability always carries risk, but it's also the birthplace of genuine intimacy. When she finally allows herself to surrender that control, even momentarily, that's when attraction transforms into something undeniably real. Attention is the purest form of affection, and when a woman is deeply attracted to you, her attention becomes intentional, precise, and deeply revealing. She begins to notice things that others overlook: the way you move your hands when you speak, the tone you use when you're being sincere, the slight change in your mood even when you say you're fine. Her focus narrows because her emotions are engaged, and her curiosity becomes personal. It's not simply about observing you, it's about understanding you. When she remembers details about your life that you barely recall mentioning, or when she brings up something small that made you smile days ago, it's her way of saying, "I'm paying attention, because you matter." This kind of attentiveness is not a strategy, it's instinctual. It's how her affection begins to take shape in action. Attraction often hides behind care. When she asks questions that go beyond the surface, when she wants to know what inspires you, what frustrates you, or what you dream about, she's signaling emotional investment. Her mind starts cataloging the nuances of who you are, not to impress you, but because she genuinely feels drawn to your essence. You'll notice she mirrors your language, adopts your expressions, or aligns her rhythm with yours in conversation. These are not rehearsed behaviors, they're unconscious reflections of connection. She's synchronizing with you without realizing it, because her emotional focus is no longer scattered, it's centered on you. This level of attention becomes a silent currency in attraction. It's her way of building a bridge without declaring it. Every time she remembers something small, laughs at something only the two of you understand, or notices what makes you uncomfortable, she's weaving intimacy through awareness. Most people think attraction is shown through big gestures, but it's in these quiet observations that true desire lives. The more she invests her attention, the more emotionally anchored she becomes. Her awareness of you becomes a part of her daily consciousness, influencing how she feels and how she interacts. The beauty of this attention is that it isn't about control or possession, it's about connection. It shows that she values presence over performance, authenticity over perfection. When she's deeply attracted, she's not just watching you, she's attuning to you. Her curiosity becomes the language of care, her attentiveness the rhythm of affection. In those small, consistent acts of noticing, she communicates more than words ever could. It's her way of saying that your existence in her world is not just seen, it's felt. The fear of being seen too clearly is one of the most subtle yet powerful indicators of deep attraction. When a woman is truly drawn to you, she becomes acutely aware that you have the ability to see beyond her surface, the version she shows to the world, and into the layers she usually guards. That awareness can be both thrilling and unsettling. Attraction makes her feel exposed, not just physically but emotionally. It brings forward the parts of herself that she has kept hidden, the desires she's tried to control, and the vulnerabilities she rarely lets anyone witness. She may smile confidently, yet you can sense a flicker of hesitation in her eyes, as if she's wondering whether you've noticed something unspoken. This fear isn't rejection, it's the quiet realization that she might be truly visible to you. Being seen in this way carries emotional risk. To be seen clearly means to be known, and to be known means to lose a bit of control over how she's perceived. That's what makes deep attraction so complex, it forces honesty. She may try to hide behind humor, intellect, or deflection, but those shields are never perfect. The more she tries to compose herself, the more her authenticity slips through. A momentary silence, a nervous laugh, a long glance she didn't intend to hold, these are all small cracks in her armor. And within those cracks, connection grows. When a woman feels that you can see her truth, she stands at a crossroad between fear and surrender. One part of her wants to retreat, to protect herself from the possibility of being hurt, while another part feels an undeniable pull toward the safety of being understood. That internal tug-of-war is not a sign of resistance, it's a sign of depth. It means something real is unfolding, something she cannot easily dismiss or control. This fear also reveals trust. The fact that she stays present despite her discomfort shows that she values the connection enough to risk exposure. Attraction isn't always comfortable, it often brings out a mirror, reflecting back the parts of ourselves we haven't yet reconciled. When she allows you to see her imperfections, when she stops curating her words, when she lets her guard down even momentarily, she's saying more than she realizes. She's saying that you've touched something real within her, something that feels seen, felt, and accepted. And in that space between fear and openness, attraction transforms into genuine emotional intimacy.